today's tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make a simple long dress with cowl sleeves. Okay, and these are the fabrics I'm going to be using. I'll use this lace fabric for the sleeve, and I'll use this plain black fabric for the main body of the dress. Okay, these are the other materials I'll be using: our tape, our scissors, chalk, straight ruler, and curve ruler. I'll also be using a bias to finish the neckline of our dress. So if you're interested in this type of video, please make sure you stay tuned to the end. And if you're just joining in, I say a big welcome to you. Thanks for stopping by. I hope that you subscribe to my channel before the end of this tutorial, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you get notified each time I put up a video. Do me well to share my videos, like, comment. I really appreciate that. And to all my old subscribers, I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful to you guys for sticking with me. I'm so appreciative of your thumbs up, comments, and every other thing. So it's going to be a great time today again, and let's just get straight into the video. You place your fabric on fold, and the fold is determined by a quarter of the circumference of your hip measurement. So the quarter of the hip measurement we'll be using today is 10 inches, and you're going to add your ease and also side seam allowance. So I already measured 13 inches for the fold. So what I'll do next is to draw our guideline. We'll measure from shoulder to bust point, and I have 10.5 inches. Then also I'll be marking my waist measurement. So the waist measurement we're using here is 15 inches. Then the next thing I'll measure is the hip measurement. The hip measurement I'm working with is 25 inches. So I'll mark 25 inches right here. So I'm just squaring up my lines. Our shoulder measurement is 15 inches, and half of 15 inches will give us 7.5. So I'll mark 7.5 here. All right, so then I'll go ahead and mark our neck width. I'll mark 3 inches. From the shoulder point here, we'll come down by 1 inch. So I'll mark 1 inch here. Then I'll connect from this point to the neck width. After you've done that, you get your bust band measurement, and the bust band measurement we're using is 7 inches divided by 2 will give us 3.5. Then I'm going to add half an inch for ease and half an inch for joining allowance. Okay, so that will be a total of 4.5. So I'll mark 4.5 here. We'll go down to the waist. The quarter of the waist we're using is 7 3/4. 7 3/4 plus half inch ease and 1 inch seam allowance will give us a total of 9 1/4. So I'll just mark 9 1/4 here. The quarter of the hip that we'll use is 10 inches. 10 inches plus half inch ease and 1 inch seam allowance, side seam allowance will give us a total of 11.5. So I'll mark 11.5 here. Using our curve ruler, we connect the points. So I'll connect from the hip to the waist here. The next thing is to make your curve from the shoulder slope here to the bust band. Then what we're going to do right now is to measure 2.5 inches above our hip line. So after I mark it, I'm going to make a curve. I'm going to place my my pattern master this way. You connect it from the bust band here all the way down to that mark. Okay, so I'll just draw my curve. So on the hip now, you can take the measurement straight down. If it is an Ankara fabric that you're using for your bodies, make sure you give it more room. The reason why I only gave it half inch is because this fabric is stretchy. If you are using a fabric that does not stretch at all, you have to make sure you give it enough room so that when you're wearing it will go in. Or if you want it very fitted, another thing you can do is to make a zipper for the back, right? So you give it enough room so that you can walk freely. Okay, so you see how we have done our curve. Then from this point now, we'll just take it all the way down. From the hip, I've taken my line all the way to the hem. I'll pull it back up. So the next thing I'm going to do is impute my neckline. So the actual neck width I want to use is 3.5. This one is the standard 3 inches. So I'll measure 3.5 now. I'll mark it on the slope here. Then I'll go down by 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'll make my curve using my free hand. You can use your curve. You can use your French curve. French curve or your pattern master, whatever. I'm going to cut it out, but I'm not going to cut out the top here. I'm just going to cut out from the side all the way here, because this side, the shoulder area is going to act as a guide to the cutting of the sleeve. So I'll leave that part. I'll just cut all the way down to the hem. I'm done cutting both front and back bodies, and I've used my pins to secure it in place. The next thing I'm going to do is to create the sleeves. This is lace fabric that we'll be using for the sleeve. I already turned it inside out, and I placed it on the first fold because we're going to be creating both the two sleeves at the same time. Okay, so I place it on the first fold. I'll fold it again. So it's on 4 folds right now. I'll bring it closer to me. Okay, then I'll lift up my fabric and place it on the lace. You can see what I've just done. Remember the 2.5 inches that we went up by at the hip, so make sure it goes beyond this mark because it's going to stop about this place. Okay, so just to note that. Okay, so one important thing to note while you're drafting your sleeve is the sleeve measurement. And to get your sleeve measurement, you'll be placing your tape measure from the midpoint behind your neck all the way through your shoulder to your sleeve, to wherever you want this sleeve to stop. The measurement I'll be using is 23 inches. The band also is 1.5 inches. So take away 1.5 inches from 23 inches, will leave us with 21.5 inches. So now what I'll do is to take my ruler and extend my shoulder slope, or extend it outside, so that I'll be able to mark the total length of my sleeve. So I'll just extend it from this point here. After extending that line, I'll also make my shoulder allowance, the seam allowance on the shoulder. I'll mark 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'll just connect the marks. The next thing I'll do is to impute the total measurement, like I said, 21.5 inches. So I'll measure 21.5 inches, but that's not all. Remember, on the shoulder, we added 1/2 inch to the 7.5 inch for our shoulder. We added 1/2 inch to make everything a total of 8. So that 1/2 inch, now we have to include 1/2 inch to this fabric, because we're going to be joining this fabric together with the 1/2 inch on this fabric. Okay, so we're going to add 1/2 inch to the 21 inches, which will make it 21.5 inches, which will make it 22 inches. Then also at the sleeve opening, we're going to add 1/2 inch to join to the band. So the total will be 22.5 inches. So I'll just mark it here. You take your measurement wherever you want your sleeve opening. Okay, so right now I have about, let's say, 10 inches. All right, so I'll divide this 10 inches by 2, and it's going to give me 5 inches. So I'll mark 5 inches here. So this is going to be my sleeve opening. I'm going to add 1/2 inch for joining allowance at the bottom of the sleeve. So I'll just add another 1/2 inch, so it will be 5.5, or I can make it 6 inches. Then I'll connect my lines. This has become our sleeve opening. The next thing I'm going to do, just create a curve, okay, and let it meet at this point. It's going to start at this point here, and it's going to meet at this point. All right, so I'm going to create my curve. So this is going to be our cowl sleeve. The next thing we're going to do now is to cut out our sleeve. Starting from the neck, It's the same measurement I'm using for both front and back. So I'll start from the neck and take it all the way. We'll notch this part, we'll notch the sleeve opening here so that we'll know where we're supposed to stop. After cutting your sleeve, you open up your bodies this way. This is the right side, okay? Then you take a piece of the sleeve. This is the way it's supposed to be stitched or attached to the bodies. So you turn it over, right side of the fabric facing right side of the sleeve, and you begin to stitch, but you can use your pins to secure it in place. Don't stretch your fabric so that you don't have excess at one end. You see what I'm doing? So we're going to end here at this point here. I have stitched the front bodies to the sleeves and the back bodies as well. What I'll just say is that make sure you notch, because it's a curve, and for the cuff to rest properly you need to notch it up. So the next thing we're going to do is to join it at the shoulder. From the sleeve opening, we're going to take it this way and go all the way down to the hem on both sides, okay? So I'll go and do that, and I'll also finish the hem, okay, of the dress. Then I'll pipe. I would use bias to finish the neckline also, okay? So let me do that and I'll be right back. This is what our dress looks like so far. I'm done finishing the neck with the bias, okay? So you can see how neat it looks. I started off using the machine to stitch it, but I didn't like the result, so I ended up using needle and thread to finish it up, and it looks a lot better. I've closed the side seams all the way from the sleeve down to the hem. I've also hemmed the bottom of the fabric. The next thing we're going to do is to add our band to the sleeves. We'll prepare 2 strips. This one I have is measuring 4 inches by 60 inches. To attach the strips to the sleeves, all you have to do is to take your strip, fold it into 2 lengthwise, and make your notch just like I've done here. You take your fabric, right side of your strip facing the wrong side of the sleeve. Can you see? So you open up your sleeve this way, attach it, all right? So you use your pins and secure it all round. So after you've used your pins to secure it all round, stitch on the ends of your strip. You fold it into 2, right side facing right side, okay? And you stitch. At the other end too, you do the same thing. You stitch it about half an inch at the ends, okay? So after you have done that, right side facing right side and stitch, then you now open it out to the right side. When you open it out to the right side, fold it in by half an inch, all right? You can see what I'm doing. You fold it in by half an inch this way, then you begin to close up your band. You close it up all the way to the sleeve opening. When you get to this part, what you do is you fold this up. You see, you fold it up this way to fold in your half inch. Then you take this other side, you fold the half inch over it and stitch it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope it makes sense to you. Then you continue the stitch till you get to the end of this point. Our dress is ready. You can see the band. I've attached the band. Okay. We're done with the hemming as well. So guys, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up, share to your family and friends. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so that you get notified each time I put up a video. I'll see you again in my next tutorial. Stay blessed and take care. Bye bye.